Appropriate and inappropriate discussion topics at work. You know, there are many things in today's society that you cannot say or talk about. A lot of people feel there are just certain things that you should not bring up. And these things can be anywhere from salary to religion to sex, porn, even drinking. But I'm only going to talk about a few. Let's start with the things that you should not discuss at work. Salary. Believe me, nobody really wants to tell what they're making. It can cause a serious rift at work knowing that this person comes in and does less work or spends less time on a job than you do, but they make more than you do. Don't talk about it. Politics, always a heavy subject and can start a lot of problems at work. And it can divide the office. Who cares if you're a liberal or that you're a Republican or the fact that you're a Democrat? All we care about at the job is that you do your job, you come to work on time, and you make sure everything is taken care of properly. Intimate relationships should never be discussed at work. You putting your personal business out there, and sometimes that's not a good thing to do at the job. It's best that you hold those type of things in and talk only with your partner or your best friend. Religion. It can be okay in some instances, but it too can also cause a serious rift or split at work. Most people are very, very serious and committed to their religion. And no one wants to be picked at it because of their religion. No one wants to be shunned upon because of their religion. And no one actually wants to be separated from the group because of their religion. Their religion is theirs, not yours. So, think about it before you open up your mouth and say it. You know, there are a few other topics that you should consider that are inappropriate to talk about. You know, the death of a friend, a family member, or coworker. It's always great to give your condolences and your best wishes to the family, but other than that, leave it alone. You know, most people don't want to talk about people who passed away, and sometimes it can become a personal matter, and they take what you say very personal, especially if they cared about that personal. You know, again, financial is something that you should never discuss. We've already spoke about it, so won't talk about it anymore. You know, and a lot of people don't want to talk about sales. I mean, family and friends are the first one to cut you down if you try to sell them something. They're the first ones to tell you, man, that's a waste of your time. You ain't gonna make no money. Why are you doing this? I ain't got no money to buy nothing. So you should walk away gracefully and let it alone. Especially don't try to sell your coworkers anything. It can make them kind of in a way shun you or see you when they see you coming, walk in the other direction. Those are a few things that you should definitely remember. Other subjects that a lot of people find inappropriate to speak about is sex, pornography, drinking and smoking from the night before when you went out, your sexcapades for the weekend. A lot of people find these things really embarrassing or inappropriate, and you should be careful. Think about how you would feel if someone walked up to you and brought these types of subjects up. How it would make you feel. Try to put yourself in the other person's place. And again, think before you talk. Now, let's talk about subjects that can be appropriate. Everybody's into sports. Some people don't even watch sports. You know, it's good to talk about current games or favorite teams, especially if that's your thing. Another subject that most people still talk about today is hobbies. You'd be amazed to find out that the young lady next to you is into skydiving, or the young man who sits right across from you may be into knitting or crocheting. So it's a great way to bond. It's a great way to find out more about your coworkers, and it's a new way to find out new things that you may end up finding out that you never tried you may like. The weather is always something that can help and change the subject, especially if you get yourself in a sticky situation with something you don't want to talk about. Talk about the weather. It may be boring, but it can definitely get the ball rolling or change the course of a conversation. Family. No one wants to hear you gripe about your family, your significant other, or your children. But sometimes it's okay to ask them questions in situations where you really don't know or you need their advice, especially if you think they're a good parent or they have the expertise in areas that you don't know. But keep it simple. Don't make it too personal and don't make it into where they have to delve into private matters. Media. God knows we always talk about movie stars or the new book that came out, or did you hear the new record or song, or girl, did you happen to check out what I read the other day in People magazine? These are things that can definitely be talked about because they're general subjects and they're not specific enough to cause a rift between you and your coworker. Other things that are okay to talk about: holidays, where you're going to go, when, but not how much. Nobody wants to know how much money you're spending or how tight your budget is for your vacation. They have their own vacation and problems to worry about. Hometown. Now this one seems to always be a good one. People are always surprised to find out where you're from. It's amazing when you find a hometown girl or guy and they dress like a city person, wearing suits all day and talk like they're from the city. But that's a good thing. It's nice to know. It kind of gives you a way of connecting with that person. Jobs can be an appropriate subject, especially if you don't work together. You can keep it general, especially if you're meeting someone for the first time and they just want to know what you do for a living. Latest fashions and trends, especially if you're a trendsetter yourself. And as again, when we go to media, another part of that is celebrity. And people do love gossip. God knows you can gossip and talk about anything. Everybody wants to talk about Amanda Bynes or Jessica Alba now being a mother, or Brad Pitt and Angelina and their whole new tribe of kids. These things can make a conversation fun and interesting, but they can also become quite boring and time consuming and take away from the job itself. So, be careful about what you say. Think about it before you say it, and consider the other person when saying it. Alright. Inappropriate topics and discussion at work. We all have them. We just need to know when and not to have them. Thank you. And we look forward to seeing you and talking to you again.